Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the All Aces podcast. I say another one, but we are officially back. I know that
It's been a while.
it's been a long, long time. Dan's had a kid since then.
Two kids.
2 kids since then. I've had a dog. I went from 2 to 3 dogs.
Engaged.
I'm engaged now. We did a bodybuilding competition. Dan's ran hundreds of miles for no exact reason.
Producer Mark had a daughter as well. Man, a lot of stuff has changed since last time.
And arguably, Mondo behind the cameras got extremely more handsome. I don't know if it's his beard, his attire. I don't know what it is, but he's definitely got more
sitting
handsome.
back there mogging us.
Mogging. There's been a lot of stuff happening. So we have a lot of stuff planned for you guys as we approach coming back onto the scene of the podcast game. It's a lot of fun, man. We've been watching podcasts recently, and we were just talking, and we're like, man, we got to bring back the podcast. So much fun doing it. So much fun watching it. So we're going to get into it. We have guests planned, segments planned. We've experimented with some sponsors for some Grubhub segments with Grubhub or Postmates or something like that.
I don't remember.
A lot of stuff coming up, man. But we're officially back. And on the topic of being back, something that's coming back that I don't want to talk about too much is the Super Bowl, right? Super Bowl's coming up a couple of weeks, depending on whenever you watch this. But we don't know who's going to be in there. But regardless of whoever's going to be in there, it doesn't fucking matter because Niners are out. Niners are officially out of the Super Bowl contention. And I'm not over it.
No, actually, what's funny, we had Anthony hosted here at Barbecue, his beautiful home, and we all came over fucking excited watching the game. And then, I mean, if you watched the Niners or the Seahawks game, right, it just became a shit show very quickly. Everybody's hyped up, having a good time. Right?
It wasn't even a game.
It wasn't a game. But if you've been to somebody's house to watch a game and you're having a good time, having a party, like, you're excited. And, like, even if your team is losing, but it's a close battle, like, you're into it. But it was just the back got blown. It was BTA after the first quarter. And the energy was horrible in the building. We were just looking at each other like,
this is how bad it was. This is how you know it was bad. We had a couple people leave in the second quarter. We had a couple people leave at halftime. And then just about everyone left in the third quarter. So if you have a barbecue, you're hosting people over for fight night, for a big game day, and people leave before halftime, it's either your food or your cooking or it's the actual game. And for us.
Did they take the leftovers though?
They did not take the leftovers on this one. That's another story. So it definitely wasn't the food, but the game was horrible. Long story short.
Yeah, but on that topic, obviously, the Niners very injured, riddled with injury, right? And a lot of people are saying that there's like this power plant conspiracy that keeps on coming up, right? Well, what do you think about that? I know you've been a Niners fan your whole life, and I guess it's always been around, by the way. But we got some new info on that. We're gonna share that right now. But
here's the thing: it didn't happen. We were at Candlestick Park.
That's what
it didn't happen.
Saying.
So back in the day, before Levi Stadium was built, Levi Stadium's built here. They have the practice field right next to a practice facility, and then they have a power plant right next door. So that's the big conspiracy. The power plant is next door to the 49ers practice facility, which is causing the Niners to have all these injuries, the most injuries in the NFL history. And that never happened before.
No, and you know, the whole science behind it, right? It's like the radio waves that are like emitted by the power plant, like supposedly like have something to do with like connective tissue, which is like cartilage, ACLs, MCLs, yada yada yada. So that's like the whole spill. Actually, somebody else, I seen a post literally right before we jumped on here that the guy was saying like, hey, you know, well, there's always been a power plant there, but the big difference, because that was what everybody was saying, oh, the power plant has always been nearby the practice facilities. But it's true, but it's also not true at the same time because the power plant actually used to be a lot smaller. So it wasn't as big and powerful. In fact, the new one, the reason why it's so big and powerful is because they built Levi Stadium right there. So a lot of the people, they're like, actually, I guess the NFL is investigating it because, well, it's been such a big deal. And like, I mean, if I'm a player, maybe NFLPA gets involved because like, you know, that shouldn't be a thing. You're getting injured. But I don't know. I feel like growing up, that was always a thing though. Like you're always told not to buy the house nearby like the big old, you know, like the big old, what is it called? The energy post, like the little.
Well, it's the same reason why you don't buy a house next to a sewage plant.
Exactly.
It stinks. It goes over. I'm not saying it stinks the energy, but yeah, it does stink having freaking players hurt every freaking year. And then here's the crazy thing. It's not our fourth-string players. No. It is first-string NFL superstars, elite of the elite players. We have Nick Bosa this past year. Kittle was hurt. Purdy was hurt a little bit. C-Mac was out for a little bit. Warner was hurt. Mykel Williams.
Every
single person. Down. So for those of you guys who are Hawks fans or Rams fans that are chirping us for the Niners losing, just know you guys only beat us because we had our 4th string, 5th string, 6th, 7th, 10th string players in It was horrible. So
Yeah.
I don't want to hear anything about it. I don't wanna
And
hear
you know
it.
what? And to add to that, right, to the Hawks, because the Hawks just blew the back out of the Niners. It also may just be, you know what? And I hate that I'm saying that.
You gotta
but-
stop saying blowing the back, right?
Yeah,
You're kind of
right.
disrespecting us. a little
Pause.
bit.
But you know what? It may also be your year because on the topic of conspiracy, there's another one that goes like this, right? Like it's just a big one on TikTok where I guess every time there's been a new pope elected, right? If you're a Catholic, you know who the pope is. If you're not, it's like the main guy of the Catholic Church, right? But every year that there's been a new pope elected, the Seahawks have won the Super Bowl.
Really?
So it happened back in 2005. It happened in 2013.
Interesting.
And mind you, the Seahawks finished with 13 wins each of those seasons. And how many wins did they finish the season with?
13?
13.
No.
Right? So it doesn't take, like, there's a pattern there. Right? So if the Seahawks win the Super Bowl again, like, just know it's not because you were the better team. First of all, you beat the Niners. You beat the Niners with, you know, like, the custodian fucking running routes. But it was also just, it was your year, right? Like, the new pope got elected. That's your lucky charm. So I don't know if anybody heard about it. Have you seen that?
You know, I haven't seen that yet. I didn't know that was a thing, but I would agree because the only reason why the Seahawks would beat the Niners and the Rams would beat the Niners is by some extraordinary extracurricular reason because that shouldn't happen. Niners give them the BTA every single time we play them, and that's just the thing. So, Pope, I appreciate you. I appreciate your service, what you're doing, but I don't appreciate you helping out the Seahawks.
And, you know,
like that.
maybe that's a way for us to cope here as Niner Nation, for Niner Nation to cope. But, you know, shifting gears a little bit. This past NFL season was massive. A lot of rookies played. A lot of rookies didn't play. But I just feel like there really wasn't any bust this year. Or maybe you can tell me what you think. But usually every year there's like a big-name rookie that comes into the scene and doesn't really quite pan out like people think that they're supposed to pan out, you know. But I just feel like this season, all the big name rookies, they kind of performed.
Well, yeah, the NFL rookies this year, I don't think there was necessarily a bust, but I do think that there was underperformance. And I do think there was a lot of growth. So if you look at some of the big names like Shedeur Sanders, like a Cam Ward, like a Judkins, like a Judy, right? Or Genty, not Judy, Genty. There's a lot of players like that maybe they weren't the superstars. They popped out the scene right away, but they didn't do horrible. They weren't a Johnny Manziel rookie season. There was nothing like that or Josh Rosen where it was just off the charts,
Automatic bust.
horrible. Yeah, it wasn't like that.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know, on that too, obviously it's a business, but it's a sport too. And to me, in my book, I think if the rookie can come in and do some sort of work like a Genty, right? He didn't have the best situation, but like I think this year, you know, it's very rare you get a rookie that comes into the scene, becomes NFL MVP, offensive leader or defensive leader. But I think everybody had a pretty good.
Everyone did good, but I will say I drafted Genty first round of fantasy football, and he did indeed blow my back out and did not do very good for me. So he didn't do too good. So what I'll say is hopefully they build upon it next year. They didn't do too good this year, but that's all I'll say about the rookies. But let me know down in the comments down below. Let us know, do you think there was a bust of a rookie in the NFL season this past year, or was everyone popping? What do you think? Let us know. But aside from football season, that's very fun. But Dan, how has dad life been? Before last time they seen you, you had 0 kids. Now you have 2. You have one of them that's almost going to be 2 years old in July. You have another one that's almost going to be a year this year.
Mm-hmm.
Dan is full dad mode. How's that been?
You know what? I think it's been amazing. It's been amazing. I just think the whole 2 under 2, like 2 under 2, by the way, if you don't know, it means that you have 2 kids under 2 years of age. And I didn't know that was like a thing. Actually, me and Barry, we didn't know that was like a thing. So we're just like, oh yeah, we want to have total like 5 to 6 kids, by the way. But we didn't know that was like a thing, you know?
Like 6, 7 kids?
6, 7 maybe, yeah. We didn't know that was like the 2 under 2 was a thing. And, you know, we went to get the Scarlett's. We went to get her ears pierced. And the nurse there, she was telling us like, oh yeah, I have 5 kids. And she was like, how old are they? Because we took Ace there too. And she's like, they're pretty close together, right? And we're like, oh yeah, he's 1.5. And she was like 4 months old at the time. And she was just like, oh, my God, like, that's so crazy. You know what? I have so much respect for you guys. And we're like, me and Bert looking at each other like, what the fuck's going on? She's like, you know what? I've had 5 kids. My first 3, I had 2 years of gap between the first 3. But my last 2, I had them just like your 2. And let me tell you, as a seasoned mother, having the 2 close to each other was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And me and Bert are looking like, a little bit of validation, because like sometimes it is a fucking lot, you know. And if you're a parent and you have the 2 under 2, you went through it, you know that it is a lot. So I didn't know that was a thing. But anyway, it's been really fun. It's been challenging, and I think a lot of the challenges helped our relationship just kind of grow, like as individuals and for each other. But Yeah, man.
I think, too, even if you're a friend of someone who has 2 kids under 2, you can testify that they will walk into the office or workplace, wherever you see them, and this guy's eyes are like this, like just down to the floor, baggy eyes.
My gosh.
And I have to ask him, are you feeling okay? What's wrong with it? I thought he was in a bad mood or something. Maybe I said something, right? Or maybe it's because after the Niners lost. But he walks in, he just says, man, I got about 2 hours of sleep last night. 2 hours. Crazy.
And you know that's been the theme of it all. And even when we come to watch the games, the barbecues and stuff like that, it is a way different dynamic. You know, you got the babies. Also, too, a love life is a little bit different, right? I'm not gonna get too freaky in here. It's not a Diddy freak off. But you know what? I do want to talk about Valentine's Day. This is filming before Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Do you have any plans for Valentine's Day so far?
I do, of course. Every single year, I always take Chris out to Valentine's Day. We'll do a nice dinner. But what we also do, too, sounds kind of crazy, but we'll also go out the weekend of Valentine's Day as well, like that weekend, just to make it a point where you don't only do it on the same day. You want to do it on like a every day. Yeah.
I like that. Now, let me ask you this, because this is a very controversial topic. If you're already married to somebody, if that's already your girlfriend, do you still have to ask them do you still have to ask the other person to be your Valentine, or is that like a given and you just do whatever you're gonna do, or do you still have to ask them, will you meet my Valentine this year?
No, you don't have to ask him. She has a ring. She has a ring on her finger. So here's the thing: that's my forever Valentine. She has a ring on her finger. So when I feel like whenever I asked her to marry me, I got a forever Valentine. And that was it. But that's not to say I'm not going to do anything every year. I'm still going to do stuff. Yes.
But you're not going to go and ask, like, will you meet my Valentine?
No. I think it's implied with a rock on her finger.
I see. For me, I'm in the other camp. I like the romantic feel of, like, you still do something special to ask them to be your Valentine. It's kind of like the whole thing of, like, you never stop dating each other. I mean, you're still doing shit. I'm not saying you're not doing stuff, right? But for me, I kind of like the show of it, dude. Like, you got somebody.
You do it for the clout, right?
I wouldn't. Maybe you know what? Maybe in a weird way, maybe it is a little for the cloud. But
so let me clear my name real quick. I still do something. I get her a basket. I get her balloons. I get her flowers. I go to dinner. I'll do the works. I'm just not physically saying,
will you be my Valentine this year?
Honey, will you be my Valentine? Because I already did the important question. Will you marry me?
To your point, is that like are you like sneak dissing me now because I haven't asked the question there? Or is that?
I'm not sneak dissing, but maybe people at home watching this right now, they're looking at you like, man,
2 kids, no ring. That's a conversation for a different day, everyone.
Yeah.
Well, I was just wondering because I've seen like that's like a big thing,
Yes.
where like I seen a fucking TikTok of a chick saying, like, oh my God, like my husband hasn't asked me to be at my Valentine, and I was like, oh, that's kind of fucked up. Like, why didn't he ask? Yeah. But then I was like, well, maybe I don't know, because I get your point. Like I already asked her to marry me. Like she's got the rock in her finger. Like. It is implied.
But I don't support if you are married or you've been together for a while and you don't do anything at all because you're saying, I'm already with her, I'm already married, so I don't have to do anything. I don't agree with that. I think you should, and I believe you should still go out and do something. But on the topic of that, for Valentine's Day, what are the top 3 restaurants to take someone in Central Valley 559 for Valentine's Day this year? What do you think?
Super easy. Like I'm gonna take notes, guys. Okay. Annex. That's it. There's no other answer. I'll put it that way. I'm lying. There's a lot of other great choices, but for us, when it comes to like celebrating special moments here in the Valley, I mean, it's your go-to too, But we go to Annex Kitchen for all of our big stuff. But I would say, if you're taking a chick out, it's kind of you're still, testing the waters. I would say the 5. The 5 has a good vibe, romantic vibe. Annex for sure. You got to throw Annex in there. The third one. I like 13 Prime, but I think at the third spot, you could put a lot of people. You could put like the Limelight, 13 Prime.
I wouldn't put that. I mean, for me, I would say Annex for sure. Maybe a little Sejan in there.
Oh, you know what?
You have to throw that in there. And then third, you can throw in there.
There's like a lot of third.
A lot of thirds.
Yeah.
A lot of thirds. You can throw in there Anessos. And maybe if it's your first Valentine's Day and you've just met the chick maybe 2 weeks ago,
you don't want to drop a bag.
You don't want to drop a bag.
Anessos is a good choice.
Go to Anessos. Good pizza, good vibes in there, good ambiance.
Good drinks, a good cocktail. Good best espresso martini in town. I think the whole valley, by the way.
It's actually the sister company or cousin restaurant. It's the same company of Annex Kitchen. So you're going to get the exact same quality food, just a little bit downscale, different type of vibe at that restaurant.
But it's cool. Now, here's the thing for next year, right? I'm already stressing about this. Because we're talking about Valentine's Day. But next year, the Super Bowl is supposed to land on February 14th, which is Valentine's Day.
Actual Super Bowl.
Because I guess the Super Bowl next year would be scheduled on February 14th. Yeah.
NFL and Roger Goodell are trying to ruin everyone's relationship right now, putting the Super Bowl on Valentine's Day. That is crazy.
I mean, what are you supposed to do there?
There's no way, right? That
I don't think they're going to keep it.
Your chick's going to let you be on your phone watching NFL Plus on Valentine's Day dinner.
No,
is that going to fly?
No, there's no way.
There's no way.
I think to your point, that you almost like if they don't change the dates, that's crazy.
Would you boycott the Super Bowl or Valentine's Day? That's a good question.
You know what? I think at this point, like the real G move. I was gonna say a different word, but the real G move would be to you make it like a weekend thing, right? Saturday you say what's fucking or Sunday you watch Super Bowl. Well, maybe Saturday if you go out of town or whatever, you have your nice dinner.
But what if the chick is saying no? Valentine's Day is my day. I want to go to dinner.
Hey, it's my day too.
And I start at 5:00. That's same time kickoff starts.
Yeah, you know what? It depends what she's done up to that point to earn it or not earn it. I'm gonna be honest with you. No, I'm just kidding.
If you guys will see Dan on the next podcast,
I'm a fucking black eye. What happened? No, you know what? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm like, dude, if they don't change the date, like,
well, honestly, on the same Super Bowl topic, right? It kind of takes out the fun of Super Bowl parties because there's no way you can have a Super Bowl party on Valentine's Day at the same time. No way.
No, what are you going to do? Like Galentine's? Like your wife's going to have Galentine's in one room and you're going to have the Super Bowl party with the boys in the other? Maybe.
You know what's the crazy thing about Super Bowl parties, though?
Huh.
Super Bowl parties have the best food and dishes ever. I don't know what it is about that one party. The carne asada, the tios, the tias, they pull out the best grills, the best carne asada, the best meat, the best beer, and they save it for Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, I will say that everything that weekend does taste a little bit. That's just a little extra crispier.
What's your go-to Super Bowl Sunday?
Go-to Super Bowl Sunday? It just depends. Are we talking about like entree or like sides?
Go-to Super Bowl food for entrees, two entrees and one side.
Okay, 2 entrees, you got to go carne asada. Carne asada with some limon on the side, some salsa, especially if it's homemade. If it's not homemade, to me, the second best store-bought version is Vallarta's, which is kind of like homemade. And the other entree, I get a little crazy with it. So if there's nacho cheese, because people have nachos, and there's chili, I'll make a chili cheese burger. So I'm going to get my burger off the grill, get some nacho cheese from the nacho bar. I'm going to get some chili, and I'm going to put it all in a burger. That's my number 2 go-to.
I think you have to go with a classic burger and a hot link. Make sure the hot link's a little spicy. Ooh. Put ketchup just all over the burger. And I don't even, honestly, I don't open up the burger bun. I just close the bun and just put everything on top. So I put the ketchup on top of the bun, on top of the plate, on the side to dip. I just let it loose. And then for the sides, I love to do a macaroni and cheese, but with the crisp on top. That home-style cooking macaroni and cheese and some fries on the side. Tater tots.
Yeah, the ketchup. I'm recovering from the ketchup. I'm like that visual just. Yeah. I was getting a little sick here. You
have to. Do you ever put ketchup on tamales, by the way?
No, you don't put ketchup on tamales. That's like a fucking like you might be Jeffrey Dahmer, fucking like you're on that level of psychopath if you could put ketchup on tamales.
I do put ketchup on tamales.
And you're on that level of psychopath, bro. I mean, I love you as a friend, but that's just the fucking truth of it.
Tamales. I put it on my tacos, my burritos, my rice, my beans. I mean, I'll go to Chipotle all day long and put some ketchup on there, and I will just go to town.
No, thank you. But you know what? Nah, I can't. I was gonna give it a shot, but I can't give it a shot. But you know what? I'm glad did happen. You know what? I'm glad did happen is that you don't have to pay for it's still sports, but you don't have to pay for UFC fights anymore for the main cards, right? Like this Saturday tonight. There's a banger card. We got the boy Patty the Batty, right? But you don't have to pay for it no more because now it's on Paramount Plus.
No more pay-per-views for UFC. Paramount Plus and the UFC have changed the game. That is crazy.
You know what? I guess, but at the same time too, like I don't know how many people are paying because the Stream East and stuff like that. But even like to me, for example, I would use the Stream East, but. Like, fuck, there's always, like, bullshit with the stream.
But do you think that they went to Paramount Plus with no pay-per-view because they know people are doing Stream East, or was it more of a huge brand deal that they said that was a pinnacle where they wanted to get to?
You know what? I think it's probably a little bit of both because the way I see it, it's kind of like if you kind of have this high barrier to entry, then you're kind of like cutting off, like you're cutting a bunch of fans or potential fans away from the sport or actual fans from the sport. Because I didn't pay for ABPPV. Like I would just pay for like the banger ones, you know. But I think now that it's more open to everybody, I think that's gonna allow everybody to watch it together, kind of have like the barbecues and stuff like we were talking about. And I think overall it's probably gonna be better for the sport and for the brand. Although one thing that I did hear, now this is just like hearsay from this TikTok guy, right? But I think I shared it with you. You know, he was saying that like the actual broadcast is gonna change a little bit. So if you watch UFC with the PPV, like you see all the fighter walkouts and all these different things. The ads are like very limited, like almost none in there, you know. But now I guess it's going to be a little bit different because obviously that cost of the PPV has to go somewhere. So they're going to show a little bit more ads. And allegedly, I guess we're going to see tonight, but allegedly you're not going to be able to see all of the fighter walkouts.
See, that's what I wouldn't be okay with. I wouldn't be okay with no fighter walkouts. If I miss a fighter walkout, that's almost the best part. You get to see them right before you place your bet on a UFC fight. Once you see them walk out, you can see it in the UFC fighter's eyes. If they have a sparkle in their eyes, they're ready to go, a little fire, I'm putting the bag on. I'm putting the house on them. If they have that little bit of...
Sometimes they look a little sick, too. They come out looking like...
They look sick. They look a little timid. They look nervous. There's no way I'm betting on that person. That helps you.
It does. So now I think if that's true... I don't think they're going to do it for them. It can't do it for the main card, right? Like, there's no way they do it for the main card.
We shall see.
Maybe for the beginning, but to your point, you know,
they cut out walkouts. I'm paying again. Bring back pay-per-view. I'm done with.
Yeah, if they cut it out, it's just for what? Just fucking. Let's pay $90.
I'm going back to Stream East.
I'm going back to Stream East.
I'm back.
But I think it's very exciting.
Well, it's
a lot easier.
On the topic of Stream East, it was always weird too because have you ever been to a barbecue where there's some barbecues that I went to where they would get the pay-per-view, but they would say, hey, everyone pitch in for the pay-per-view. Yeah, 50 people pitching in 2 pennies for a pay-per-view. It was weird. So now that there is no pay-per-view, it does alleviate a little bit of tension.
Yeah. Oh, what about the cases? So I don't know if you've ever been to one of these, but the cases where you had people ask you to pitch in for the pay-per-view, but then all of a sudden on the fucking TV, you see an ad of local hot moms nearby. So you look at the guy and you're like... And he's refreshing his phone, you know, like you didn't pay for the pay-per-view, you just charge people for the pay-per-view, you know, but he went with the Stream East, so
Stream East was goated though.
Stream East was pretty goated. I think it was out of all the ones, it was probably the better performing one, you know.
UFC, I use it for football sometimes. Before I got Sunday Ticket, I use it for boxing fights. A lot of boxing fights now too. They're not super expensive. Yeah. You look on DAZN, you look on some of the other streaming services. It's expensive for a boxing fight that arguably some of the undercards don't perform. And it's
dookie.
You just watch it just for the main card. It's not worth it. And even the boxing fights now, you look at a lot of the boxing matches, they're not even boxing matches. They are influencers versus actual boxers, like a Jake Paul versus Joshua. What did you think was going to happen?
I think everybody knew what was going to happen.
Yes.
I know, but here's the thing. For me, for that particular fight, I feel like he almost knew that his jaw was going to get broken, but you're almost like, okay, like, I mean, I'm going to take 50 mil to get my jaw broken. Sign me up.
There's no way I'm taking 50 mil to break my jaw.
Really? Not for 50?
No, it changes your jaw shape, changes your teeth, changes everything. We got to keep this intact here.
Well, you know what? You get that $1 million AP smile. I mean, I'm taking the 50 mil, bro. I'll spend $1 million on surgery, bro. I'm going back to normal. I don't got nothing else. Yeah, but you know what? Some of the PPVs, they feel kind of like they're scalping you a little bit, right? Where they're just like kind of fleecing you. Kind of like what happened. You're a big shoe guy. You see that sometimes. Like the shoe, if you catch it on the Nike app, $200. Or the Travis Scott drop, you pay retail $250, $300. But then the resale, how much did the Travis run for?
Yeah, I mean, for some of the Travis Scotts that I bought, I paid $2,000, $1,000 when the initial price for them when they first went on sale was $200. So you don't feel really good about paying prices like that. But before we even go on the topic of scalpers, shoes, and all that good stuff, on that topic of overpaying, getting your back blown, Jason Love versus Adam 22. They boxed last night on the Brand Risk, Aiden Ross's promotions, which is really getting way better. The quality of Brand Risk promotions is getting really good. The commentary, the visual effects, everything's badass. But the fight with Jason Love and Adam 22, give us your thoughts.
You know what? I don't know if there has been another man on earth that has lost as much like aura, as a kid say, in Adam 22. I mean, it's like a weird thing because you allowed the guy that now whooped your ass in public and got paid to have his way with your woman. And it's like a very weird dynamic. Like at that point, as a man, like honestly, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he like commits suicide. Because me personally, I give him like, I'm not even like talking shit, but
Bro,
I give him a lot. Wait, listen, I give him a lot of respect, bro, because as a man, he just lost. Like, he gave everything up, dude. Like, okay, you give up your chicks, and now the guy that bangs your chick, now he beats you up. But it's like, I guess the guy's like, well, I let him, you know. But it's like weird, dude. Like, what? How do you live with yourself, bro?
Well, I think you have a guy like that. You don't let that guy. That guy takes what he wants.
Well, after the
Jason
boxing
Love
match,
is a big guy. Yeah, he's big.
yeah. Now you sound like the wife. That's what I mean. Say that. That's what she says about him. But to your point, now we know that he could take it, right, if he wanted, right? But that's what I'm saying, dude. Like, you can't, as a guy, how do you walk the face of the earth when everybody knows that this dude did that to you and did the same thing to your wife?
Well, his reasoning was because of the bag. They had one of the most viral clips in OnlyFans history. That's his reason.
Yeah, you know, I mean, like, I'm okay with getting my jaw fucking dislocated, broken for 50 mil, but it's just like the whole wife thing, dude. I can't even like fathom it, dude. It's like, it makes you sick a little bit, dude.
So to his defense,
I would
will
feel bad
say,
for the guy, but I don't. You know?
Adam 22, his defense, he only had 2 weeks to train. So that is what I'll come to his defense on. Is
Okay.
only 2 weeks to train for boxing. I don't think he's ever boxed in his life.
Okay.
And then Jason Love, this guy looks like he comes out of the womb fighting, just punching out of the womb.
I didn't know that. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that is
Okay,
a little
give him a
context,
little bit
so.
of for that, but it's still weird. You know, like, it's still.
I'm not, that has nothing to do with what he did. I was talking about the boxing, the results of him getting TKO'd in the first round. That's all I'm talking about.
You know what? I hope the bag was good, man. And like, if you have the bag and you could go to a different planet and start over, I wish maybe he could do that. You know,
Maybe they're gonna go to Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Say hi to Logan Paul, Jake Paul.
The influencer,
That's
boxer
why they live
bag.
over there.
Yeah, that's true. Gosh, that is crazy, man. Poor guy. Do you feel bad for a guy like that?
I do feel bad for a guy, but then I think back to how much money he probably has in his bank account, and then I think that makes him sleep a little better at night.
Yeah, that's right. I guess I could. I mean, but for me, I just, you know, I would kick the chair.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and to his point, he does the same thing back to her.
It's like an open relationship type
Yeah,
deal.
so he goes with multiple different chicks, and I think he's been doing that
So-
longer than she has.
So is the marriage kind of just like a marketing stunt, just to like? Oh wow!
The crazy part is they have a kid together as well.
Whoa,
That's a crazy.
dude! If you're that kid, right? Like, there's no way you're not growing up a little bit messed up, right? Like, just watching your mom. Like, I guess you don't watch her, but like knowing your mom did that, and like then your dad, and it's just like weird, man. What the fuck? I didn't know. Is that real? Does he actually have a kid? Do they really? Oh hell no, dude. I mean, you shouldn't like. I don't even do that. But if you're gonna do that, so
What's it
just
called,
leave
Mark?
the kid out of it.
No. I was trying to, you got me. I was trying to set you up, Mark. You got me.
Oh my gosh.
You got me. All right.
Okay.
One mark, AP.
That was a good one, Mark.
We're tied. Yeah.
But you know what? Maybe they were in Puerto Rico, right? But I mean, the guy Logan Paul, dude, he's making the same type of bag from Pokemon cards without
How do we
having
go
to
from
give up his
talking about
wife.
Lita the Paul and this plug talk to Logan Paul?
Well, because you said that if he could move to Puerto Rico. Where
Oh,
the
that's
Paul
right.
brothers
I did
live.
say that.
Yeah. So, but if what I was saying is like he's over there flipping Pokemon cards, he's not flipping his wife to make a bag, dude. You know?
Dylan Dana said otherwise.
Oh, hey, you know what? That's
Hey.
true. That was a thing. I don't.
But let's skip over those topics. Let's talk about the Pokemon card. You brought up the Pokemon card. We have actually behind the camera, we have aficionado. What do you call it? Aficionado memorabilia.
It's like you know we got to put in the meme from the pawn shop, like the Pawn Stars meme.
We have the Pawn
I gotta call. I got a guy that knows about Pokemon cards. Let me call him.
This is Mark. Mark's the aficionado Pokemon expert. So how much is the current Pokemon card?
Right now it's 5 million on auction.
So the card right now is 5 million in auction, and it has 23 days to finalize the sale. But somebody has already bidded 5 mil.
Yes, it has an active bid.
What was the starting bid?
I don't remember the starting bid.
What card is it? Is that like the Charizard?
It's a PSA 10 Pokemon Illustrator card. There's only 3
PSA 10.
and it's the only 10.
Pokemon Illustrated card, only 3 in existence, and it's the only 10.
I'm gonna be honest with you. There's no way I'm paying $5 million for a Pokemon card.
But I think to me the Pokemon card market is sort of like the art market. Like you have all these people that go to like the art shows, and they like look at the painting, and the artist is there or whatever, and like they're like, oh yeah, that's gonna be $6 million, and it's just like it looks like your toddler could have done it. I kind of look at that.
Yeah.
I look at Pokemon cards the
That's
same way.
true.
It's like this. It's the same exact thing. It's just one. You kind of have to be a little bit more, I guess, pretentious and pretend you have taste to like admire whatever the artist was trying to do. And the other one, it's the same shit because you're admiring what the card is and like the scarcity of it.
What do you think he'll end up at?
I mean, dude, if he's at 5M, he has 23 days. There's only 3 made in the world, but out of the 3, it's the only 10.
Prediction, official prediction.
I would say like 10. He might go 10.
10? That's it?
I think 10.
I'm going 26 million.
Really?
26 big ones.
Well, here's why I say 10, because comparatively, there's like a 101 Ferrari that sold at auction for 35 mil. It was like one of the last Ferraris that's still up and going from the era where Enzo Ferrari was left, and that particular model won the Le Mans and all kinds of crazy races. But it sold for 35 million. So there's no way a Pokemon card is gonna overvalue.
You would be surprised. People.
That's true, actually.
Someone would pay more for a Pokemon card than a Ferrari. They're out there for sure.
Well, I guess one card is already worth more than a couple of Ferraris. That's true.
Yes.
Wow.
We'll see. 25 million, 10 million.
10.
Okay, we're gonna. Those are our official predictions. We'll see how much it sells for.
23 days, huh? So about like Valentine's.
How much would you pay, Mark?
Where's the call sheet? We're gonna do the call sheet, projection.
I'm not that big. I wouldn't collect it. It's not my vibe.
He doesn't like the card. Fucking Mark.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Obviously, it just. I always say the value is in the eyes of the beholders. Whether you're going to pay $1 million for a Ferrari or $1 million for a Pokemon card, it's all up to you. But I know I got to get going right now. I got a long trip over to Los Angeles. It's been fun getting back. First episode back in the pod. We're excited.
100%. You know what? You're going to take a long drive around. That's a little bit foggy, dude. Are you going to be a little bit careful? Or are you going to just... how do you drive in the fog? Do you slow it down or you just fucking let it loose?
I slowed down a little bit. Yeah, recently there was a 20-car pileup. 13-car pileup here in the Central Valley because of the fog. And if you watch the body cam footage or the actual dash cam footage, it was crazy. Where you can see it 1 second to another. It just went from fog, bam, to...
Yep. Actually, that Sunday, I was driving to Fresno, and I seen it. I didn't see it happen, but I seen it probably like 20 minutes after it had happened. Fun fact, one of our clients was part of the pileup.
Not really a fun fact, but...
Well, it's not a fun fact. Yeah, it's a fucked up fact. But you know what? But we're taking care of the client. That's all that matters. But that is like a thing that we're in the insurance world. So for us, like we kind of see those little stats like behind the world where like the rain and the fog come in, and it's just like the amount of claims that we see just completely skyrocket. And of course, if you are going to be in the fog and you do get in an accident, I promise you there's no one else you'd rather have by your side than the boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, this podcast is sponsored by Academy West Insurance, the largest insurance company in the Central Valley. We have 30-plus locations, 25-plus years in business, auto, home, business insurance, quinceañera insurance, anything Super Bowl insurance, anything from A to Z. Academy West has you covered. Stop by academywestauto.com today. Join the family.
That's $1 million smile he's trying to protect. Now you understand it. But yeah, you know what? The fog here in the Central Valley, it does get crazy. And I personally think that there's something in the fog that makes people drive stupid. Because sometimes, I'll be real with you. No, listen. It's not that foggy. Like for me, if you're driving and I can see like 10 cars deep, that's not like...
Bro, well, you have 20/20 vision with your glasses. Take your glasses off.
But that's like, okay, well, I'm not going to... In my driver's license, it says don't drive without your glasses, right? So I'm not going to do that. But even then, I feel like sometimes people drive dumb. And then like I made a TikTok about it and people were like, oh, well, they're just scared of the fog. And my counter argument was like, well, correct. But what I was saying is that people forget like the driving law, like the traffic laws and stuff like that, and they drive dumb. Because there's one thing being scared and driving with extra caution, and there's another thing of being scared and then driving dumb, which is with no caution. And I think a lot of people get scared and drive dumb, and they kind of freak out and panic, and then that's how accidents happen. That's my personal take. So please, don't drive dumb in the fog.
It's been a lot of fun, guys. We appreciate you tuning in for another episode back. We appreciate you. We have a lot of guests coming, a lot of cool segments up and coming, and a lot of good episodes up and coming. So stay tuned. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to like, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. Anything else?
Peace. Drive safe.